Well, now, I've got a very, very big surprise for somebody sitting here in our audience tonight. And surprise, surprise, it's for you, John Hinton. Surprise, surprise, John. Please come and join me on the Cilla sofa. You sit down there, John. Well, you knew there was something going on. Well, yeah. It's all down to your lovely daughter, Lisa. She wrote a lovely letter telling me all about you. In fact, your story, I have to say, John, is a truly remarkable one. I have to take you back to the time, start this story at the time when you were born. Now, your mum was unmarried, and she knew that when you were born, she was going to have to give you up for adoption because of the stigma and the circumstances of that time. Now, on the same ward as your mum, there was a certain lady who she befriended. And this certain lady had devastating news because she gave birth to a baby that was stillborn. Well, your mum, after long consultations with this lady, said, "Would you mind taking my son on?" And this she did. And she became your adoptive mother. Well, your adoptive parents were terrific with you. They loved you. Indeed, you loved them. You had a marvellous childhood. Yeah. But it's always stayed with you. You've always wondered who was this mother that gave you up at birth. And it wasn't until last Christmas that your dear wife, Maureen, up there, started the ball rolling. Is that right?
She did.
Yes. She got in touch with the adoption societies. Told you your mother's name. But sadly, you had the dreadful news that your mum had passed away in 1992. Well, that was, yes, that was a bit of a blow, more than a bit of a blow, to say the least. But your Maureen never gave up, because she wanted to find out whether you had any more relatives. And she did, didn't she?
She did.
She found out that you had a sister named Eileen. And where was Eileen living?
In Australia.
In Australia. Well, Maureen did all the talking, and she phoned your sister up, and, well, Eileen was very, very shocked, to say the least. But there was a bigger shock for you and Maureen when Eileen told her that you also had a brother named Stan.
That's right.
Now, Stan did live nearer to home. Where does Stan live?
In Birmingham, Great Park.
In Birmingham? Well, I know you made arrangements, you and Maureen, to meet your brother Stan and his wife Dee at the VE Day celebrations.
We did.
Gosh, that must have been an emotional time.
It was really, yeah.
Well, you've only met your brother once. Well, surprise, surprise, you're going to see him again. Say hello to your brother Stan. Come in, Stan. Hello, Stan. Have a sit down there. Well, Stan, this is a truly remarkable story, as I've said. What was the reunion like on that big day?
Oh, fantastic. It's up to quite a bit of ale, didn't we?
We did. And champagne.
And champagne. So you hit it off straight away.
Oh, yeah.
And I do believe during that time, both of you decided to ring your sister Eileen in Australia. Is that right?
We did on the Sunday, yes.
Well, I know, Stan, that you've only seen your sister the last time you saw her. How many years ago? Was it 6 years ago?
4 years.
Oh, it was 4 years. That's not that long. But it was only 6 weeks ago that you knew that you had a sister who existed. Well, surprise, surprise.
Really?
Surprise, really. Your sister Eileen is not in Australia this evening. She's come all the way over just to be with the brothers tonight. So say a big hello and give a big hug. Here she is. Come in, Eileen. Reaching out, holding hands, reliving memories as we smile through the years. The tears, the fears disappear. Life is full of surprises. It's surprise. that's all we have time for this week, I'm afraid. I'd like to thank everyone who's taken part in tonight's show, especially Valerie Singleton, Ruth Maddock, Michelle Gale, Paul Shane, Liz Fraser, and Freddie and the Dreamers. We'll be back with more surprises next week, so until then, hurrah then!